That was about partnerships. If we all have a stake in the life we have. And some of us choose our life, but there's a big part of us that don't. You know, it's an outcome, you know, from our circumstance. Right?
So does partnerships capture it? You seem to be saying a little bit more than that right now, but so I'm just checking.
I don't think partnership catches all of it, but I think it's going toward it.
All right. Okay.
Whatever that is.
So would it add, and so the question for all of us, does it add value to this? So if we put partnerships in here or connected here, where would you put it? And
I would put it
you put it on this side here?
Yeah.
Now, and what do you want? Does this work or something different? You've got lots of blocks.
A square.
Square from Karen?
A square.
What size?
It all has equal parts.
Yeah, it does imply equality or equal parts?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that about the right size? Is that good for you?
Yeah.
And the word is partnerships. Does that get it? Is
I'm
it
not
something
totally.
more?
I'm not totally happy with that, but that's what I've come up with.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So partnerships. Is this part of what I've been thinking about as I've been engaged here today is really how can we got into, when we start to look at the logistics of how we make this happen, people go to the heart of the matter. What is that? You know, why would people do that? Why would they go to the heart of the matter, having got into set up the strategy and the logistics side of it? And I think that's part of what interests me in taking this forward. It is because if this initiative, its sustainability and success is not going to be based on just the strategy. It's going to be a combination of the strategy combined with people's real heart commitment to what's going to happen. So what I was saying is, I think part of the challenge here is, in addition to the practical logistics which needs to happen, where this is taken to community engagement through the existing channels and people, what we need to do is comes up on when we did the blocks this afternoon. It was the second row of blocks which look at really the heart issues behind poverty and behind the initiative. And in many ways, the reason why people are in the room are actually not to do with the strategies, they're to do with connection, in some heart connection to this initiative. That is key in going forward, because if we could take these strategies they're working on, I was just saying to Terry as well, if we could take these strategies and almost filter those through these last set of blocks. If we can do that, we might come up with more strategies and to say, okay, so how does the heart issue apply to this? So, for example, one of the things that you were sharing with me last night, where someone is here because of his connection to an employee of his, he didn't even realize had lost his job, and he discovers this through a social interaction, and he decides when he goes home that night that this can't continue. He's got to change something in his company and his life because he saw the impact on this family. So that's a direct impact to myself and my world and the world of this poverty. It's those direct connections. If that can happen, then this thing has a real chance of beginning to gain momentum. So I was also thinking, I was just talking to the one participant now, social media. Here's a social media part of this as well, right? Where social media can get past boundaries, it can get into people's lives, the stories. So I think there's a huge part of this that is, and maybe Calgary can lead the way in that sense, in terms of social media and what that might look like. So those are some of my thoughts. In terms of personal impact for me, I had a great afternoon, obviously, because I have fun working with people who are serious about what they're trying to do. I find that very invigorating. For me, just some of the heartfelt Aboriginal challenges and some of the discussion around that, and even the stereotypes popping out in the group, took me back to South Africa and apartheid, and so I feel very much at home in that, right? Because it's part of my own history in struggling with those issues. So in that way, it felt like to me coming home. So coming to Calgary is like coming home to me in terms of some of the work that I've done in Africa. So that was to me a beautiful part of the day. And so yeah, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by the fact there's a stereotype in Canada that Calgary is kind of oil and money. Right? The fact that Calgary has taken an initiative to deal with one of the critical problems facing this country and the world, and that it's nothing to do with oil and money, right? It's to do with these important things. That to me is exciting. So I commend you, as part of this initiative. I think it's taking traction. I think if it can be embedded, and I know Derek and Terry have strategy to do it, to embed it to what already the existing plan strategies of key organizations in this community, that's going to be key as well. So I think a combination of things will take this to its next level. And I hope that Calgary sets some world precedent, right? I really do. I think it's quite, given the energy in this room today, I think it has the capability to set some world precedent in terms of poverty initiative. And why not? Because the energy and the passion and the diversity in this room positions it very well for that. So.
We started the day with a blessing from our elder Leonard Bastian, and he said we needed a miracle. And when we talk about a miracle, we are talking about something beyond ourselves. And I think we found that what was beyond ourselves. Often we talk about these things as strategies and processes and in terms of outcomes, and yet it's beyond our control. All we can do is start from a good place and bring the right people together and honor the process, and then we have to trust, sit back, let the process work, and the magic happens, and we don't have any control over that, and we need to go with it. I think there was some magic in this room today. An amazing conversation that we probably haven't had in Calgary in many, many years, and I'm just excited about where it's going to go.